The Pecron F1000 is Pecron's first power station that addresses almost every complaint that we've had about previous Pecrons. And it's only about 300 bucks. So if this thing can perform as well as advertised, this might just be one of the best entry-level power stations to hit the market this year. So welcome back to the lab where our opinions cannot be bought. This is the smallest F-series Pecron that we have gotten so far. And honestly, it has a lot more features than a lot of other power stations in this price range. But having a lot of features and being a really good price doesn't mean it's a good unit. It could also be a giant waste of money. So we've had it here at the lab since it released, and we've been putting it through the ringer to find out if it's actually worth you guys spending your hard-earned money on. Before we jump into that, as always, we have links in the description down below. You can check this out using the discount codes that we've got from Pecron to help save you guys some money wherever possible. We also have our power station quiz. So if you're not exactly sure what power station you need, do the quiz. It takes 30 seconds, gives you an instant recommendation that we would actually recommend to you guys. Otherwise, before we tell you everything that we still don't like about Pecron's F1000 and all the things that we really do, we're gonna hit you with a super quick spec teardown to get you up to speed on this all new power station. First up, this thing passes the tiny baby lift test. It only weighs 24 pounds. It's a very light power station. It has a 1004 watt hour battery bank. The battery bank is not expandable, so what you get out of the box is all you get, but it has a 1500 watt output in the inverter, which is really powerful compared to the battery size. When it comes to getting power back into this, it can charge from a regular house outlet in your home at 1000 watts. So you could basically charge it in an hour from 0 to full. And the solar input is 600 watts. That's like an hour and a half from 0 to full on like an average day, which is actually pretty good. In terms of plugs and ports, everything on this power station is right here on the front. You have nothing on the sides or the back, which is nice. Underneath here, you have your inlet ports. So this is your AC power in and your solar power in. You have 4 regular 120 volt house plugs across the front, which is pretty nice. You have 2 USB-Cs, 2 USB-As, a barrel connector, and a 12 volt car socket. You also have a light. It's a hold. So good job to Pecron for finally putting a light on their power stations. That's huge. The screen is just classic Pecron screen. It's bright and easy to read outside, tells you what you need to know, works well, and it works with Pecron's app. It's a pretty good app for a budget power station. You can't do anything crazy with a tiny unit like this, but you can turn the inverters on and off from afar. You can change some settings that you can't change directly on the unit, which is nice. For example, the buzzer, every time you press a button here, you can turn that off so it doesn't beep at you. Just a bunch of things you can't do from the screen. And right now, at the time of filming, this power station with our discount code is $312. The first and biggest thing that we like about this Pecron F1000 is that they finally put a light on their power stations. This is a very big deal, not just for this unit, but in general. We've been telling power station companies for a while, lights are super important. On a big unit that weighs 70, 80 pounds, if your power goes out, you have to pick it up and carry it up some stairs from your basement or in from your garage. Being able to also see while you're doing that is huge. They put it on a small one, which is fine. If you take it camping or whatever, you can, pick it up and move it around easy. It has the light, it has different brightness settings. It has the SOS if you had it in your trunk or something, throw it behind your car. Moral of the story, we're really happy to see Pecron has a light that they put on anything, and hopefully they continue to put it on all of their other units in the future. Another big thing here is the plug spacing. So a lot of times small power stations have a problem where they put all the plugs really close together. And then if you have like a big MacBook charger, like the brick, or like a camera battery or something, when you plug it in, it'll start overlapping the plugs beside it. So this unit is pretty small, but they did a good job of spacing these out as much as possible. So you could still plug a lot of stuff into there and it's not overlapping and just becoming very frustrating. Another thing we really like about these ports, and all of them, is that they're all front facing. And for a unit this small, you're probably gonna be taking it camping or have it in your car or something like that. You could have this in a pile of stuff just shoved in your car, and you can put power into it and take power out of it without having to touch it, which is nice. If you have plugs on the back, you gotta actually dig it out, plug things in, whatever. It's nice being able to access everything from one side. And we also do like that they included the power button, because before we were only getting buttons for the inverters, so you had to have the unit on to turn it on. This way you could have it on, but you don't have to have an inverter on. It could just be sitting here, it's not wasting any power, it's not idling. You can connect your app to it, and then you can turn it on and off from afar. You can do stuff like that. Whereas before, to have your app connected to a Pecron on their E series, you had to have an inverter on, which just wastes batteries. It's not a good thought process. We also like that Pecron gives you all the cords that you're gonna need when you buy this. You have your solar cord, you have your charging cords, you have everything that you would want to get started in that package. A lot of companies now are trying to charge you extra for cords, which makes no sense. And the final point is that Pecron's support has actually gotten pretty good. Over time, we've been saying, their support was fine like a while ago, but this year their support seems to have really leveled up. Whenever we have issues and we call in incognito, they don't know who we are, they treat us really well, they call us back if they didn't answer the first time, and they actually try to help walk us through problems, which is great. That actually gives us a lot more confidence recommending Pecron to you guys as a brand, because if you have an issue, you can get help. And we also liked the results of our testing. So the charge test went from 0 to full in 58 minutes, so just about an hour. The efficiency on this when you're running it at full tilt was about 80%, which makes sense because the inverter is actually bigger than the battery on this. And the idle was about 14 watts, which basically just means if you turn on this AC inverter right here, it's already using power from the battery, converting it to AC, putting it here at these plugs for you to plug something in. But even if you don't plug something in, it's still consuming power putting it to these plugs. So if you have like a sump pump or a fridge or something plugged into here, it's not always running, but it's just waiting for a trigger to turn on. You're gonna lose about 14 watt hours every hour just having it on like that, which is not a big number. It's a little high for a small unit, but it's not terrible. When it comes to things we don't like, there's actually not a whole lot. This is a cheap, small, powerful power station that can power a lot of appliances in your home. With the small battery, maybe it can't do it forever, but it's a pretty powerful unit. The only thing we would say that we didn't love about it is it's not expandable, which is kind of a bummer. It just means if you buy it now and then your demand increases over time, you want a bit of a bigger battery, you can't just buy an expansion battery and plug it into this. You actually have to go buy a whole new power station, but this is relatively cheap to get you going anyways, so it's not the end of the world. But there is options out there like EcoFlow's River 3 wireless, where even though it's like a really small power station with a really small battery, it is still expandable. So if you decide over time, like, oh, I wish I had a bigger battery, you just buy the expansion battery and it's just kind of like reinvesting into your purchase instead of starting again. But that's it. Overall, there's a lot more we like than don't like about this. So at the end of the day, who is the Pecron F1000 for? Someone who's looking for an entry-level power station on a budget, or even not on a budget, if you're just conscious of bang for your buck, what you're actually getting. This is a great power station for someone that needs an actual decent size inverter, a battery that can last a decent amount of time. Like this would power your fridge for almost a whole day, which is not bad. Even if you're looking at something smaller, a lot of like EcoFlow, Anker products are gonna be more expensive. You could get something like this. It's probably got a bigger battery and a bigger inverter for the same price. Whether you're trying to back some stuff up in your home during an outage, you're trying to take this thing camping, or you just live in a condo and you don't have a lot of space, but you still want a portable power station, this is a great option. So honestly, I would recommend this to anybody who's in this price range or size range of power station. I think it's overall a really good unit. But that's pretty much all we got for you guys today. Like I said, make sure you take the quiz if you're not entirely sure what's best for you, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out and stay charged.